Hey everyone, OP Rocks is here, and welcome back to a DSP discussion video. Been probably a while since I've done one. I would say the last one I did was way back when during the whole when the best streak started, and coming back into doing these again, as well as cutting it back to the swing of things of uploading stuff from my channel. If people actually find this channel, I guess. So, in the midst of my current Road to Melody and Memories playthrough, I decided to take some footage I've been recording and just splice it together and use some of it to do some discussion videos. And I just want to talk about the months that happened when we come to DSP. So I'm talking here to September, and I'm going to probably do an August one later on. And right now, I'm just doing nothing until, well, something happens today. I'm kind of up to now. I got some coffee, some, usual regular blend and some fresh vanilla and, well, sugar because I don't know. I don't think I like the taste of coffee strong. Sorry, I'm not that tough. So let's begin. What happened this September when it comes to DSP? Well, a lot of stuff happened. But let's start back in August, as it helps tie into what happened then. So, if you've been keeping up with the DSP sphere, well, depending on how you feel, we had, of course, Phil having his festivals, which were happening, let's see, around June? Well, the first festival happened around May. The second one happened around June. The third, I think, happened around July, and the fourth happened in August. And of course, that was when, in September, is when the best streak ends, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So, what happened, and what led up to August that led into September? Well, it was the fourth festival we had, which was, how do I describe this? Why I take myself a sip of coffee and think to myself, how do I explain what happened? Well, the fourth festival, what did Phil have? But then what also happened during it? Let's see, it was the second festival where he read some quote-unquote tear-fed letter. I think it was the second or third one. And that was, like, it's obviously how it was written. It felt like he wrote it himself. And the third one, what did he eat that one? Okay, I have to remember everything he ate. The first one the first festival, he ate the, something from Popeyes. The fourth one, he ate the Impossible Whopper. He had a Impossible Whopper, regular Whopper. The third, he had those mini tacos from Jack in the Box. And the fourth, I don't know what he ate. I forgot what he ate, but we're coming to that. So, around August, I think it was around close to late August, there was a whole controversy about a new Netflix movie called Cuties. And I'm a person who never dive into controversies. I'm a person that never chooses to go into drama. I'm a person that never feels he needs to talk about something for sake of clickbait, views, or just so I can jump on a bandwagon. I am not a person to just do that. The only reason I talk about the things like locales or what's going on, what's coming to the top of my head is because I like talking about this. I'm not doing this for views. Barely anyone knows who I am. I'm such a nobody. I'm only people who probably know me is who follows me on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, Twitter. And my Twitter following is sometimes goes up or sometimes goes down. And I don't need to do that sound effect of how it goes down. I feel some people do follow me, or some people will follow me because I like Sword Art Online. So that's kind of the thing. It's never about my opinions. It's never about my hot takes. Because I don't do anything to piss people off. But apparently, I don't know about that. So let's get back to that. So the whole controversy of Cuties, long story short, if you haven't kept up already, people were trying to cancel, people were dropping Netflix over this because just one movie. Just one. And then Phil, of course, being Phil, defends it, and then which led to a lot of people going at him. And then when Monty 101, made a video about it, Phil decided to basically get him canceled for that. So it's crazy that Phil, who always, says, oh, I'm not a fan of I don't like cancel culture, because, cancel culture go after me and my family, by family, we're meaning his wife who does not love him and his cat, Jasper. Give me a second, I'm about to take a little sip of coffee, so enjoy me roaming around. And, Phil being Phil, he tried to do that. Like, it shows how much he will try to get someone canceled just because they said something about him. And that happened, I think, in the midst of a little bit after the 4th death streak. And like I said, a lot of this was... And with all this money he was getting, I think it was around 27,000. We saw no improvements. Outside of maybe him talking about the consoles, but Phil is right now, Phil is either making shit about not wanting to, no point of getting Microsoft, but then again, Phil is bitching and moaning about either consoles, and he was pissed about the pre-order like everyone else was doing. But the pre-order was was a disaster on both fronts. So no matter how much everyone wants to praise Microsoft for basically doing what Disney doing and buying companies, which that's a very interesting, pot calling the kettle black. It's okay for Microsoft to do this, but when other people buy other companies, people make a big deal about it. About oh, what about they're just monopolizing everything? Then why it's okay for Microsoft? That's a whole different thing I'll never understand. And again, I'm not a Microsoft player, and the only thing about Microsoft involving I have right now is I currently have a gift from my sister. It's not the Xbox Series X. I'm mostly a broke bitch. I don't have that kind of money. So let me try to explain this one. Phil being Phil, it's okay to try to get Module 101 canceled. Because again, Phil fears the backwards, and then him backpedaling, but that's later going to September. So let's go into after the 5th, we can pretty much say that it's hard to say that someone is giving money behind the scenes to keep the best streak alive. And what I mean by that, I'm saying that possibly that someone, it comes right at the end sometimes to keep the best streak going. We don't know for sure if it's true, we don't know if it's possible, but apparently someone is keeping the best. When the best streak doesn't always get the hit, someone does come at the end. And after, it's safe to say that each the best streak just felt the same. We just get some segment with Phil, we have him talk about something going on, he puts his foot in his mouth, he talks about the topic that's going on, while he eats food, and then usually whatever happens. And really, and like I said, I would say that it was a good thing that the best streak finally ended, because I did not want to see this going into the end, into the 500 marks. I really would not want that. But let's get into September a little bit. With Phil basically making a big deal about ear infection. Now, Phil had mentioned ear infection before. This was about a few weeks ago, about a couple of months ago into this year, and Phil was making a big deal about having ear infection. So he takes a few days off. Of course, by the time he was but of course, for someone who has all this pain in his ear, he's really okay is able to, to talk on the phone while he's able to be on Twitter while he's in excruciating pain and everything. And, you know, making a big deal about it. And, you know, this was still off the whole DMCA saga that happened in July and a bit of August. So that was what was going on at the time. And that was still going on for those who want a clear idea of what happened. So, really, it was just, it's hard to say if he really was having ear pain or what, or why he was making a big deal, why, you know, he was getting mad that it shows how much he does not understand the world, and he wants to criticize, you know, healthcare and everything. It's like Phil lived so far back in, like, the late 2010s or something, or the late 2000s, where he has not had any grasp of the real world. This is the man who decides to literally live in his house every day. So he shouldn't be talking about healthcare. So it's hard to say if Phil really had his ear pains, or he was trying to make an excuse, because he was also logging into WWE Champions at the time too. So it's safe to say Phil is logging into WWE Champions on his breaks and doing all this. This was also the time where, of course, he was about to start his usual. At the start of the course, September, we had two big releases that were coming out. I think GP had two releases he was playing at the time. I think he was finishing up Origami King, and he was about to start to play Tournaments Underground at the time. He was going to play that name. Not Tournaments Underground. Tournaments 1 and 2 remastered, because Phil, he never goes back to any old games until let's have a remaster on modern consoles. I don't know why, but, well, I don't know why. So, from what I saw of when he did Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, how do I describe this? Okay. I lack a lot of knowledge of Tony Hawk. The only thing I played Underground, I played the demo, the warehouse demo way back then, but I never knew tricks and all that. But when he was playing it, okay, first off, he makes himself, because, well, he always does in the types of games, he always makes himself. He was not doing any tricks, he was not doing anything, even when people were trying to explain to him, you know, how to do all this, he just doesn't understand all this. So again, what the hell did he pick this game up in the first place? Again, that's why Phil should not play new series or any type of games. Because again, he only goes afterwards the big AAA release. And the next game he played, well, let me get into what happened after. So, now, of course, he finally wraps up the Origami King playthrough. I think also at the time he was also doing the B-side of Nier Automata as well, so he finally got to that game. So when he finished Origami King and he couldn't go on, he couldn't go overtime. Which again, Phil makes his own schedule. Why couldn't he go on overtime? Who knows? So the best streak ends at 276, when technically it ended at 76 months ago. But, Phil was trying to keep the best streak going, and the illusion that it was still going. But it was over before that. With the rounding number of still 27k that was used, and no improvement. And then of course, Phil goes on many tweets about what to do after the best streak is over. And, well, you can check Oslo and everyone else who talked about the best streak ending, and they'll give you a bigger take than I could. But all I can say is, thank you. I was waiting for it to be over, and I was happy for it. Not only the fact that the festivals there was nothing new to the festival, there was nothing, and just added nothing to just filling his gullet and then having no idea about food. Yeah, this is no idea about food. boomer segments about stuff that he happened on Twitter or anything, and you know, making mostly about him, and then also revealing another vest, which he also does in those. So he has like 6 vests. The original tan vest, a beige, a blue, a red vest, a red vest, a platinum vest, and a chemo vest, which he was revealed in the last festival. And now all those vests have gone to waste. All that money people asked for, but yet he buys all these vests. This is what all the money that his fans have pushed for. This is what, well, what can I say? It's not like, you know, there was anything to give when it comes to supporting Phil. You basically are giving absolutely nothing. So he revealed, and like I said, he doesn't really do anything new, and it's just the same thing. He builds new vests, eats food, some kind of boomer segments, and then go into gameplay. And you know, he was really adamant of not letting the Platinum Vest to win. It speaks volumes how much, sorry if you heard that sound, it speaks volumes how much he knows that Platinum Vest was a meme. And even though he tried to say that, this is a celebration of us winning the attractors. Yeah, because we give a fuck. And sorry I had to swear this time, because I don't swear as much. But we don't give a fuck. We don't give a flying fuck how much money you make. We just want to watch you continue to exist. That's all we care about. So that streak ends, and Phil is very much, he would say, oh, it's not anyone's fault, blah blah blah, and then, he comes back, and the best streak was now over. And he said, oh, it's because my fault because I was sick. Okay, I'm going to talk about something that I'm 100% I probably brought up on Twitter. But, okay, how is getting ear infection being sick? Unless this is something that's affecting your throat, affecting your lungs, that is being sick. It affects your throat, it affects your lungs, it affects your breathing. That to me is to me you're sick. How is an ear infection being sick? I don't think so. I probably understand what that means. So yeah, I feel like he's making more excuses of everything, and quite frankly, this is just more Phil being dumb, So, Phil's trying to keep asking. He keeps basically asking his fans, what should be the next new thing we should do? He had no new plans of what to do. He pretty much just asked the fans of what to do. And quite frankly, it kind of just showed that Phil has no idea how to run a business. Now, I must say, here's what I mean. Business do axes they ask their customers, what can you do to help us improve, or what do you want us to improve? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you're the one who started this whole thing. In fact, you could have ended it. It needs to have some idea of how you want this to go. The problem is, Bill pretty much was, obviously invested with this vest streak because it was getting him a lot of money, and that's what all that matters. The problem is, he dragged that vest streak so far, I think it's safe to say that it was going to literally become the thing that was going to bite him in the ass anyway. Because he was so reliant on it. I think you probably heard that. So of course he's trying to blame his fans for it. And quite honestly, it was kind of like the inevitable, I mean, let's be honest. We have to think about it. It's obviously he couldn't get any whales to turn up for some money, help give some money in the last second. And the fact that he couldn't, even though he makes his own schedule, he couldn't go, overtime. Which I don't know why he couldn't. It doesn't make sense. And it's like he will say, oh, I want to spend time in my keep in mind this is the best streak, and also what makes it hilarious about the best streak ending and it ends on a very particular day. We don't hear a lot of people talk about this, so maybe us will bring it up too. But we're actually at the 3rd anniversary of the disbandment of SOK, Son Kojima, for those who may not know who they are. So I think it's also the same day too. So talk about a coincidence. Probably the one enemy Phil probably wanted to deal with but couldn't deal with, they disbanded this day. So I guess it's kind of karma in a weird way, or irony, that it happened on Labor Day too, and happened right before its day off. So, of course, he came back the next day, which was the 9th, I think. And now, of course, it's what to do now. So, kind of starts to basically combine, all the stuff he still did before the best streak. Now, of course, now it's kind of good to watch Phil struggle to make 100 a stream now. Or apparently one time he makes a lot of money behind the scenes, which he kind of talks about that. But we'll get to the whole chargeback stuff soon. So what happened after? Well, he now has to go in. The usual stuff. He was playing Tony Hawk badly. He started Marvel's Adventures. Hated that game. Now, granted, that was pre-big patch, so if he didn't try to chase those day one views, he could have waited to the big patch, which pretty sure fixed everything. Probably that audible grunt thing, which James shared that clip, other people shared that clip, so hopefully that got fixed. But we'll see. If he just didn't, chase those day one views, he shouldn't try to chase those day one related views. That game could have been better after the patch. Of course, granted, we don't really have proof that it was rushed. And keep in mind, I've been knowing about something I'm pretty sure most people, and I know it's kind of an off-topic thing, is I've been knowing about the schedule they've been having for their projects for a while. And Marvel was kind of, I guess, always in the back burner of one of the more back stuff they always had planned it. So I don't think it was rushed, but who knows, maybe there was something that got, rushed in the final stages, but we don't know. But considering how much they kept talking about, how much they were really trying to promote it, I don't think they meant it to be as bad. I feel like it probably did good. We'll see in sales. We'll see how sales went. But this was their first, Marvel's game. I always say improvements will happen over time. And that's what I always feel like. A game is not bad. A few errors and things don't make a game to be bad. Like I said, I understand people will judge a game like, let's look, because everyone does not want a Sonic 06, even though that game is more of a meme at this point. Let's be honest, I think it is a meme at this point to just bring that game up. But this game is on my radar, games I want to pick up. I still want to get it. And now they have the patch out, I might find a copy a bit less around Black Friday, you never know. But let me go on, continuing on what's happened the rest of September. Because I still have a lot to talk about. Man, I have to do my best to remember all this in just a span of only a few about probably 20 more minutes. Also, because this video is actually going to be about 40 minutes long, and then after I'm done talking about it, I'm going to, say my up to in October plans, because unlike Phil, I don't really have, I don't have a set schedule, but I do have stuff I want to do. So, after he came back, we still had our usual stuff, him bitching about lag and Street Fighter, I think he was still going in between doing Fire Emblem Houses at the time, he was still kind of, you know, he was basically sandbagging that game. It should not have taken this long. Like he was sandbagging that game. He was taking very long to beat it. Everything, you know. And quite frankly, like, and I'll say this, like, the two people I think did a better job playing that game, like Dante Crisis and Lightside Bill do a better, Lightside Bill do a better job playing the game, so I recommend those guys over Phil. Over Philly Boy here. You know? Like, there are way better players in that game. So I recommend them. So, what happened after? So, of course, Phil decides to. Then, of course, Phil has to go and finally clean up. So I decide, okay, I'm gonna have to disinfect my office. Even though it's his office, yet he does not, you know, clean it often. Now, sure, I'm not much of a neat freak myself. My room is decent, average. I have to make sure I wash my clothes every month. I wash my clothes every week. I didn't even a month. I make sure I wash my clothes every month so I'm not smelling up my room. But the fact that keep in mind that I'm sure his room, his office, quote unquote, is a complete internal mess, and we know why. So now, of course, you know, everyone, he said he was gonna, of course he made some big deal about improvements, and I said it best on Twitter. Just don't hold your goddamn breath. He's not gonna improve. Phil has never shown any out that he ever wants to improve. He's gonna always put the bare minimum of effort. This is the same man who can't even get his videos in freaking order. I don't even have I make sure all my videos come out on different days, and then I also make sure that I titled them. I titled them. I actually spelled the word part. I don't even have as many followers as people following my channel, and I know how to do this shit. So here's what he updates. He gets rid of that love sleep fight that he was always complaining about it so much, even though I don't know how he never did it and got a real chair. And I think someone on Kiwi Farms called it that it's just one of his old chairs from the condo. And that's what he put there. It's one of his, you know, small chairs from the condo. Now he has all his space, like, well, he can finally put a green screen. Yeah, still does that. Oh yeah, one of the things we also know Phil has is he has one of his Stream Deck. Something he could have been using a long time ago. Why he won't use it? Oh, because the Stream Deck is compatible to current Windows, not his Windows, because he won't update his laptop and his computer. So when those computers have obviously get viruses or whatever can happen to them, it's not going to be the fault of us, not even from the chapter. It's going to be because of him, because he won't update his shit. So he gets rid of that chair, and then he just starts. Now he's just becoming more of a freaking clown because he spins around that chair. Don't forget the bubbles he was doing back in at least August as well. My god, I am just like I said, I said it best, don't hold your breath. And of course, you know, let's see, everything else, what else happened? Let's see, finished Fire Houses, almost finished. He's not good at bad game design, yet he was basically sandbagging that game. He finished the Torrance Pro Skater 2, and with really, you know, without the music, what else? He talked about Sony Showcase, and pretty much having no idea about video games, as always. And that went well. I think also, of course, both Microsoft and Sony both revealed their consoles and their prices and dates are coming out. And, you know, and considering I'm not a person of the console wars, Sony is always going to be my go-to console is Nintendo because they have like a better lineup of games I actually want. Sure, I think everyone loves backwards compatibility and Game Pass, but if I had to pick between, I want to pick games I know I'm gonna play versus 100 games I don't know if I want to play. So again, that's pretty much my whole thing. So that happened, and now we come to the whole Chargebacks Saga. I'll keep it brief since I pretty much rambled on so long, and it's self-explanatory. Phil's getting chargebacks. Cause look, this could be something to do with the best streak, and keep in mind, Phil is taking money out very quickly, so he doesn't get chargebacks. And I feel that that's gonna become that's so slowly biting him. Because what Phil does is that when the money gets come to PayPal, he immediately takes it out of his account, which is kind of why he's probably getting a lot of issues, because that is kind of the reason. So Phil is making chargebacks right now. He's still sucking at games. He's going through that. He rage quit 2 games like very quickly. Crisis Remaster, and I think another game. I don't know which one it is. I'll have to check on that one. And that's kind of where we are now. We're close to finishing up September. We are now in the midst of, October. We're now in the fall. We are about to start fall. We're basically have lots of coming out in fall. We got probably some new games. He felt like there's nothing in October, which again he focused way too much on new games, not old games, and that's kind of it. Like I said, we're still finishing up this month, and anything else we may talk about, we'll come to that when we come to that. And right frankly, I'm just mostly going off the top of my head, not copying off the chapters. I want to be unique on my take on stuff without trying to copy off others and their thoughts, opinions. I feel like it'd be more make sense. I had a little bit of a word jumble there, but what can we do? So with that, I guess we'll get ready to wrap this up. So I'm going to talk about what I'm up to in October, and what my plans are coming to October and November. Well, if you've probably seen this on my channel, you're also noticing I've been slowly but surely updating parts of my channel. I'm getting most of my videos onto my channel, but between I'm school and with school, by being kind a little bit laziness, as well as someone has to use using the laptop as well as I'm not able to upload as much parts. I do mostly just let my parts, upload a background, have them become drafts, and then just do them all one by one. My big plan is hopefully my plan is that I'm gonna have Kingdom Hearts 1 completed. Kingdom Hearts 1 will be the first game completed, and I feel my theory is that it will be done. My estimate of parts is going to for the playthrough and probably doing the secret bosses. Secret bosses will be about 20 parts, I would say. My 20 plus parts. So that's gonna be coming, and after that, I'm gonna be covering. What else am I gonna cover? I'm gonna cover the rest of the games and hopefully have them all finished by hopefully November. I'm going to be doing the Final Fantasy remake in November. I'm going to be covering more games. I'm going to try to get back to Royal. After I upload part 49, I'm going to be on a break for a bit. I broke out Fairy Tail. I'm going to have those parts up. I have currently Lasana and Elfman. I'm going to get Leslie and Leon soon. I can't wait to get those characters. I currently bought Trials of Steel at the big in Japan sale, so I'm going to cover that game. I probably get 2 and 3 soon, so my big plan to get those games next. I'm going to be doing the rest of my Kingdom Hearts games. I'm working on Sword Art Online. I've got the Licorice parts coming, so also, I guess I should probably put this clear. If you're not interested in any of I'm talking about, you can kind of just skip to the end of this video, so I'll probably want to say around the 339. If you get 339, which I'll be done with this, by 39.5 I'll be finished with everything I'm saying, so get to that point and then it'll be the point where I'll just sign off and then say what else I'm doing to and what other DSPs I want to talk about. So let's continue. That's the next games I'm going to be covering. So Licorice I'm going to be doing more parts for. I have other games I want to cover. I want to get things, I have about 40 games I want to do, and I want to get a lot of them on my channel. I might go back to some classics of my favorite games. I do have the Ape Escape. I have to, unfortunately, my original Ape Escape playthrough is all on my other laptop, so it'll be a while before I get that. But it's gonna probably be one of the playthroughs I might put in for 2021. But I don't have a lot of games I'm gonna be covering in 2021 outside of all the games I'm doing. And I might do Avengers. I might work on Melody of Memories. I'm gonna work on Final Fantasy Remake. I have other games I want to do. I want to do a lot of different games and do the types. I'm also got Tomb Raider, which has 3 parts of that game. I want to get back to that game soon. And when it comes to all the games, and what else I want to do, I have other things I want to talk about. I have a topic I want to talk about. I won't go into detail about it because I want to keep it a big secret. But it's a topic I want to talk about for about a year now. And I hope, now that we're kind of coming to the end of the month, I do want to talk about it and my take on this whole matter and how I feel it affected the community. And quite frankly, I feel like I talk about it now because I think everyone's gonna always be on about it. And then I'm gonna talk about, I might see how I can do a anime review with just me talking about the show off the top of my head. I might do that. I'm actually, since I just finished Underworld, I want to do a more longer version of Alicization, talk about it. That isn't limited by Twitter, you know? So, and that's kind of it of my, what I'm up to. So, if you got to this point, now if you got to this point, skip to while I'll sign off. And hopefully you got a bit of interest on what I'm up to the rest of the month and what I'm up to coming soon. So, see you in a little bit. Well, see you have made it this far, and you were probably bored of my updates on my streaming, on my gameplay, and probably of anime, because people don't like anime fans sometimes, I ain't helping with the whole Inseki situation, but hey. But then again, people want to make a big deal about anybody liking anime because, we may be in 2020, but people still treat us like the whole back in the early 2000s. But I digress. So, quick recap. Phil September was pretty ripe with Goldust, and with Agent Proper's live daily notices, they really do help on keeping up to date, and they do help with kind of what's going on. right now things are kind of, going differently. Everyone's kind of catching up on stuff, and really, even after the whole bankruptcy was, his whole bankruptcy was, he won his bankruptcy. There really has not been people were obviously too vested with the whole thing, but I guess you can say a lot of people were. So I guess that is kind of it. So what am I going to be up to? Sorry about a little stammer. Well, playthroughs. If you want to see what I'm up to, if you want to see what kind of stuff I'm talking about, or just want to talk to me, you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Facebook. You can find me hopefully on Twitch next year, where I hope to probably get myself on Elgato. And quite frankly, I really do want to do some more streaming. I do want to make longer videos and kind of get my foot out there, So with that, I'm OFKRockets99 saying take care and have a great evening, morning, or afternoon. Later!